It's 2021, our 6th season mining up in the Yukon. We moved our entire mining operation to a new creek, and Freddy and Juan come to visit. Let's dive right into it. We're heading up nice and early while the roads are still frozen so that we could move our camp to the new creek, because we were really excited, like just pumped to get over there and start stripping. We had brought Thomas up again, my nephew, and then also his best friend Jake. So we got most everything moved. We could just drive the rock truck over from our old camp so we could immediately start stripping. There was 2 forks going up into these tributaries, and they had never been machine mined. So that's where we wanted to start, right? Because we thought, okay, it's virgin except for the old timers. So we start stripping, and instantly we uncovered a bunch of old timers can dumps, they called them. All these old coffee tins and butter tins and old miners' boots, and you name it, we found it. Obviously we're thinking, okay, they were in there because of what we had found, but it was exciting. The ground owner had left one of his old trommels, and he let us use it to start testing, because by the time we were doing that stripping and all of that, the roads were a mess, and we knew we weren't going to be able to get Traumageddon out. The gold was there right from the beginning. It wasn't great, but it was there, and it was enough to get us excited to go, yes, let's keep stripping. When we first started sluicing, we were finding nuggets, and they were nice size nuggets, over an ounce. You know, when you start seeing that, it's like, woohoo, let's set the world on fire. As we kept stripping, we found tusks too. It was like, okay, now let's get Traumageddon. Let's go get it. Probably one of the hardest parts of our season was going back to get Traumageddon. We had to haul our excavator back to the old creek to load Traumageddon and bring it to our new camp. It just would not stop raining. We had to go get that trommel. We didn't have a choice. And in the really crappy spots, we just hooked up the semi to the rock truck, and it towed it through the mud. We get out there and load Traumageddon. So we had to have the rock truck tow the semi and the Traumageddon up that first steep hill. Thomas, he just, in his nervousness or whatever, he didn't take the corner wide enough, and the semi had stalled. Oh, the next thing you know, it's in the ditch, and literally sitting there on an angle. Everybody's freaking out. I'm like, go get the excavator, get it up here so we can set this thing straight and get it out of this ditch. We just ran down, got the excavator, beetled it up there, and put it back on the road, and off we went again. I was approached by somebody that was involved with Freddy and Juan's reality show, Freddy Dodge Mine Rescue, it was called at that time. The more I thought about it, I'm like, well, I like Freddy and Juan. They seem very respectable and, know what they're doing, experts in their field. And I thought, you know what, we could get some help for this new wash plant that we have. And they said, okay, yeah, you're on our list. We're gonna probably come visit you in August. So we were expecting them to show up. And when they do, it was like this friggin' entourage. Here comes Freddy's famous truck, and then there comes Juan's famous truck, and then there was a motorhome, and there was vehicle after vehicle after vehicle, and I'm like, Jesus, is the president coming to visit us or what? I'm used to our little iPhones out there filming stuff that I can throw on YouTube, and here comes this motorcade of vehicles and a porta potty. I gotta say, I was quite depressed when that left. It was very handy. We went and looked through the trommel and what we would like to see happen and what they saw. that could use an improvement, and they had lots of really good ideas. It was like, yeah, let's do this. So the next thing you know, I'm getting microphones put on me. We're getting microphones. There's GoPros going in cabs of everything. The sound guy's out there with this thing that looks like a keyboard. Off we went, just started filming, and that was probably one of the most interesting things that I've ever had happen to me. That whole process of how they do this and how they film it so it looks so amazing at the end. Those guys were just so professional and so efficient, and Freddy was doing all the welding, and Juan was in there with a couple helpers doing all the fabbing, and their plasma, that was really real, if I could say anything about it. And Freddy and Juan were just so much fun. Like, it was the whole crew, actually, the entire production crew. They were just amazing, fun people. We were laughing all day, every day. It was probably one of the best weeks of my entire mining career, was just doing that. What they did was really helpful. Gave us more sluice runs. They put some dams in the trommel to hold the dirt back, to get it washed a little bit better. They did a bunch of stuff, and it really did help. I was incredibly shocked at the result. Like, that was all real. We were just like, oh my God. It was so amazing doing that cleanup with them filming. And you always wonder, like, is it scripted? Why are they doing things this way? You know, yeah, you wonder, and I did as well. In my experience, what happened with us, they didn't script anything. Like, stuff just happens to us anyways. They were very professional at what they did and knew what they were doing. They knew what shots they wanted to get when something would happen, when something would break down or we didn't have what we needed. They picked up on it like right now. It was a true depiction of our life at the time and what we do to get through a season or a week. Yeah, they don't miss a thing, those guys. I could be whispering something and one of them would run over. Oh, can you repeat that? Can we get you to say that on camera? I think that's gonna do really well. They wanted the truest story of us. They really wanted to get across what we go through. The differences, even just a few differences can make into your gold recovery. That is bang on true. And those guys are really good and a lot of fun to hang out with when the cameras stopped rolling. Lots of fun. They never wanted us to, oh, can you make this happen so that it looks like you're broke down and then we can film that and how you get around it. They never did that. They just took things that happened to us in our daily life. They followed us and they would just say, hey, would you mind, because we got it, but would you mind maybe just showing us again so we can convey to the viewers like how that happened and how you're going to fix it? And it's like, yeah, okay, no problem. So I thought it was going to be a massive disruption, but they were really not. They just tried to stay out of the way as much as they could, but get our story at the same time. It was just, honestly, it was like I say, one of the best experiences I've ever had mining. They were really, really good. We were on good ground when they arrived, but we were incredibly grateful for their help and all the upgrades they made to our plant and the fixes that they did do. It for sure helped with our fine gold recovery, for sure. So they definitely did help with that, and we are super thankful. All right, so Freddy and Juan left. So we were on like 3 ounces an hour when they were there, and literally it feels like they just drove out the driveway and the gold left. It went back down. It didn't stop. It was just not as good as it was. It was okay. We had our upgraded trommel. We had dirt ready. We were working hard. We were stripping and stripping and stripping. And then I get a text from my cousin, Allie, your mom's in the hospital. She'd had a fall. And the next thing you know, she's in a coma. The doctor phoned me and told me that It was unlikely that she was ever gonna wake up. And he just said, we'll keep her alive until you get here. I went and said goodbye to my best friend, my #1 supporter. She was so proud of what I was doing, and when I think about it now, I think maybe my determination, my stubbornness has a lot to do with her. She was a very, very tough lady. I'm built from the same stock, and I think I still do it for her. So that is why I started videoing things and kind of documenting it on YouTube for her to watch. She loved it. She loved every minute of it. I'm also thankful to Freddy because she loved Freddy. She watched the gold shows and he called her. He called her and she was so happy for like a week. She told everybody, I talked to Freddy Dodge. He's such a nice man, Allison. I'm so glad he came to help you. Like, yeah, I am too, Mom. He was a lot of fun. Yeah, so. I needed to do something, so I went back to work. We flew back up and went back to work, and by then the snow was starting to fall, and that's all I knew how to do to get my mind off what had just happened. It was kind of a blur, to be honest. I can't really remember the rest of that season. It was just that it was cold and snowy, and we got out whatever gold we got out. I didn't care. And all in all, 2021, gold-wise, was a good year. We had nice chunky gold, we had some nuggets, we had mammoth tusks, we had Freddy and Juan, like a whole bunch of really exciting and good things happened if you take away losing a parent. So that was 2021. As you can see, the backdrop behind me has kind of changed a little because I am in the Yukon. And it's been extremely difficult to find the time to film these recap episodes. Next week's episode, 2022. Nothing traumatic that I can remember. I might have blocked it out. I'll have to go back through my photos and videos and find out, but I think it was okay. Until then, my friends, may your beer be cold and your pans heavy. Cheers.